Hey there, everyone. Janice Petteway, Director of Brokerage Development for Exit Realty Corp International. Again, thank you for taking the time today. Just a reminder that I am going to be doing these for you every single day for as long as we feel necessary, which may be the rest of my life. You never know. So this is the second one, and today is 30 minutes. I decided to take the time that I already had scheduled to give you another 30 minutes because I felt it was important. Going forward, you're going to get somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes from me daily, meaning 7 days a week. And it's going to come to you by email. So you will be able to listen to it in your convenience. I want to make sure that we make this easy for you guys. So today, I want to remind you of what we talked about yesterday, and it's about mindset and making sure that you guys are viewing what is happening right now as an event in your life, not a crisis, not a permanent thing, not the end of the world. For most of us, this is just a little blip, right? Just like many other things that we have experienced. So again, I take this scary word virus and I've made it my own. So this is, I want you to remember, virus is vital, imaginative, realtors ultimately succeed. So I want you to keep remembering that. Use your imagination through this time. Force yourself to be present and do what you need to do, not only in your business, but in your life right now on a daily basis. I want to share something personal with you that happened to me late in the day yesterday. It was still light out. I was outside. And I don't, most of you guys don't know every detail about my life, although I share a lot, but I've been working since I was 10 and a half. Babysitting was where I started. And for most of my life, pretty much all of my life, I've had two jobs, whether it was I owned a brokerage, I had a team, and I had a title company, whatever it is, I've never had one job. My kids used to think other moms were, it was really sad that they only could have one. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, um, this time I've had more home, not traveling, not on planes, not running around, um, I realized that it was the first time ever in my life that I was able to stay in my own space without any guilt. I've never taken off more than 2 weeks in a row, and that was the time I had my children. And even when I take time off, somebody always finds you, right? They call you, they leave a message, the email, because it's the business we're in. This is the first time that that's not, it's happening because of what's going on in my position. But as far as me feeling like it's okay for me to be home and enjoy my home and my space, it really in my adult life. And I wanted to share that with you because where did that guilt come from in our lives and why? So I thought, gosh, out of everything that's going on, that is, thank you, universe. That is a good lesson for all of us. I probably really needed that lesson, right? It is okay for me to have some downtime and be able to go internal and figure out what I need to do as a human being today, and not to have 1 ounce of regret about what I did or didn't do outside of this structure. That's nice. So I'm hoping that you guys will get to that inner peace as well. We all need it, right? So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about finances. Hopefully you guys are not going to really get into too much trouble with your finances, because I really believe this is not a long-term situation we're in, and hopefully you had some reserves. But if not, I'm just going to give you real quickly some ideas and some truths about when you go through craziness, what you should be looking at in your finances. The first thing I want to say, though, is I really, really encourage you to only listen to the news about what is going on in the world a maximum of 30 minutes a day, and to remember that 99.999% of it is outside of your life, and keep that in perspective. Of course, to have compassion and prayers for people, and you want to lift people up and encourage them and help people, but do not get possessed with the news. I learned that living in Florida. I mean, if when a hurricane is coming, we have sometimes 2 weeks before we before anything's really happening, and there's people that just get so enamored with the silly TV that they just watch it the whole time, and everything stops for them. And I trust me, you will not make a lot of money if you live your life that way. So maximum 30 minutes a day. I think like the 11 o'clock news at night will sum up the whole day, and that's probably just about what you need. So think about that. But I want you to go through your statements financially right now, your MasterCards, your Visas, whatever your short-term credit card type stuff is, and eliminate anything that is a reoccurring charge that you no longer really need to have. If you need to look at your finances in a way right now that is going to save you money, then you need to figure out what is a luxury and what is just kind of nice to have and what is a necessity, and highlight the things. But I find that most people, when they do that, they find things on there that they forgot they were paying for. So I want you to do that. And as you're doing it, it's okay to post, hey, I'm getting my finances in order. I found an additional 100 and something dollars, 200, whatever your thing is, in things that I pay for daily, weekly, monthly, that I no longer even remembered. And woohoo, I'm going to save approximately $2,000 a year next year. Where do we want to go on vacation? And it's a way for you to use what you're learning and you're doing to encourage others that you know to do the same thing, but also to stay engaged with them and start a conversation, right? I want you to do that. If you are getting into any kind of trouble with, meaning you won't be able to handle something coming up financially, you must be proactive. We are adults, and we do not put our heads in the sand, right? We are proactive. It's not going to go away. There is no solution in that sand. There is not. So pick up the phone. I can guarantee you that you will not be the only one doing it. Pay attention to what our communities, our government is doing to help, and just be aware. So right now, if you're an owner, I want you to call the bank that you use and see if they have lines of credit available for small businesses and what you need to do to get approved. I think you should always keep one of those with a zero balance as backup. I don't want you to get into this situation again. And most of you as realtors, you are a small business. So see if that would apply to you. I want you to to call your trusted mortgage person and tell him what your interest rate is now on your home, if you have a home, and see what makes sense interest rate wise for you to refi, and have him get back to you when it hits that, if it's not already there. And then I want you to start collecting the list of many, many things he tells you you're going to need to refi, because a lot of you guys coming out of this could end up having an extra $1,000. I did some math last night. If you found $100 or $200 worth of things that maybe massage every month, the automated, I don't know, credit card this, credit card that, whatever, this learning tool that you paid for, this marketing thing that you just knew you were going to use in real estate. Most of you are going to find $100 or $200 a month in those charges that you don't really need. You're going to cancel that. And then if you refi and your payment drops $500 or $600, what if, when this is all said and done, you've reduced your monthly outlay by 10 or 20%. For a lot of you guys, that needs to happen anyway. So let's prepare and think about it. Now, take that a step further. What would happen if you're a real realtor and you're the voice of reason to those that follow you and trust you? Should you be making some calls and sharing with people that kind of strategy? Should you be talking about a little bit on social media? Which I'm going to bring up social media right now. And you guys don't have to agree with everything I say, but all these years later, I've learned a thing or two. Please stop posting negative things, doom and gloom on social media. Think about it. If you're the one that's constantly having issues and needing help and encouragement, and would someone in your group that sees all that feel compelled to pick up the phone and say, I need to sell my house, or we're looking to buy an investment property, or I want to buy my first home? Or would they be more compelled to call up somebody? Because you guys, they know more than one of us. They know more than one realtor. Would they be more compelled to call somebody that is constantly posting um, encouraging and good stuff? Not so many uh, self-absorbed things about that community that they live in, and the schools, maybe, and the parks and the restaurants and all of that good stuff. I think the person would be more likely to pick up the phone or reach out to a realtor that's like that. So it is okay for you guys to need help and need prayers and need all of that. We all do. But some of that maybe should be in your family and friends group on Facebook. For sure, you should have that support that you need, and I definitely believe that we all need that. But there's things that are private and there's things that are public, right? Because when you guys are out there on social media, your number one thought, if you're posting to the world, is my business people are seeing this. I am a realtor in this zone. So pull it apart if you need to. Okay. Um, the last thing I wanted to say about finances is, I told you yesterday not to worry about things twice. You will know when you really need something and need to do it and worry about it. So there's no reason to fret ahead of time. But I have a question for you. If you needed $10,000 by next Tuesday, because someone you dearly love would no longer be on this earth if you didn't get it, you would find it. You would find it. You would figure it out. So I want you guys to all think about that so that you know in your heart, so you can calm down, that really if you needed it, you have access to X amount of money, whether that's family members, credit cards, 401k, whatever it is. I just want you to think about it so that you can start calming down that energy. Okay? All right, so we talked about the fact that I was going to be giving you actual tasks to do on a daily basis so that you can stay producing. And it may be a little crazy right now, but I have talked to a lot of people every day, and there's still transactions going on. And it doesn't matter if in your area transactions are down; they just need to be, the ones that are happening just need to be with you. So if there's transactions happening and they're not with you, then obviously those realtors are doing something that you're not. Makes sense, doesn't it? So there's a lot you can continue to do. So let's talk about that. So every day there's things that I'll remind you, but I probably won't bring up every day going forward because I'm going to go to 10 or 15 minutes instead of 30. But every day I want you to listen to at least one podcast on something to do with your business. If you haven't done that before, you will become addicted. It's just a great way while you're doing other things. Like I like to listen to music, but I like to listen to others that can teach me, uplift me, or whatever, depending on my mood. But I want you to do one that can help your business every day. If you choose to, you can do a fun one as well. But like, for example, Brian Buffini has a podcast, and it's awesome. And it will definitely help your business if you listen to it, learn from it, and take action. Nothing's going to help your business if you do no action steps, right? So remember that. What are you doing every day that are action steps? So listen, but then take action. So I want you to pick one for your business every single day. I want you to read 30 minutes a day. Audible is fine as well if that's your choice. I do both. And right now, because you have some downtime, I personally think if you have books at your house already, there's some good ones that you probably should be rereading, and you need to make that list. What I love about having one in your hands is just being able to highlight, go back, all of that stuff. To me, I think really it seeps inside of our brain better. So I want you to a podcast, read for 30 minutes. I want you to do that love message that we talked about yesterday. If you are holed up in your house with people every day, remember you're going to tell each other one thing that day that you love about each other. It could be something that happened today, or it could be something just in general. If you live in a home with people, please put up a chart of all those wonderful, wonderful words and start posting about it. Let's uplift the energy of the world right now. And it would be so cute if you have children in your think of the lessons we could be teaching our children through this. First of all, young children should not even know what's going on. You should just be saying, mommy or mommy and daddy or grandma or whatever the situation is, just gets to spend some time with you. And we're going to choose to spend some time at home and we're going to work on fun things. And that's about all. But as they get older, it's great to have good conversations with them. And we're teaching everybody how to live life when there are events, right? So they're going to mirror you. So be sure that the reflection they see is clear and sharp. Okay. Um, so I want you to do that every day. I want you to think about today, and then we'll get into some real estate stuff. If I asked you, what was the one thing you really wish you would have learned in your life? Is that playing guitar? Is that cooking? What is it? Just that one thing. And I want you to share your one thing. It's again another way to communicate. And then I want you to start learning it because you have time and it's good for your brain. It's good for you. So now let's go into some real estate stuff. I want you to every day be sure that you're telling, if you're not home alone, you are telling your people that I am going to be working on my business for the next X amount of time. So here, can you please, this is what you will be doing, or I'm going to be in this room with the door closed. Please don't interrupt me. You need to learn to set boundaries, and you can do that pretty much with most ages of children, or if there's two of you home, take turns. Whatever you need to do, you need to work every day. A lot of it can be done. You're not like me, where you're in live mode and speaking all day. So you guys don't have to do that. So you can do things with chaos around you as long as you can focus, right? So focus for some of you guys might be a little harder than others, but you got to do it. It's one of those adult things, right? So I want you to call every single person that during this you have had in your active file. So all of your maybe listings, your buyers, anybody that you normally would be talking to on a regular basis, you must continue. So you're just going to check in. If you have sellers, you have got to get creative right now to keep them from getting crazed about this process. So one of the best ideas right now is to tell them that you are going to make some phone calls to agents that have a listing in that same neighborhood as your listing is, as their home is, and you are going to see if they would like to do a virtual brokers open and then a virtual open house, and explain what that is. I'm going to submit a tour of your home. I'm going to ask them to submit tours of theirs. We're going to put them together and you're going to, you would say, I'm going to send that out. I'm going to do all the research, make sure that I know all of the top agents, the top 50, the top 100, whatever you want to say and do, that have sold a house similar to yours in the price range in the same school district. And we are going to start sending out this tour to these agents so that I know, even if there's less buyers out there actually looking right this moment, that for sure the agents that would be working with that particular buyer know about your property. Do you not think that they would think that you were a rock star? Yes, they would. So that would be a good task for them. Some of you guys are in areas where you're not as restricted as others because there hasn't maybe been any cases of the virus at all. So maybe you're still doing things. So if that's the case, get out there and keep your normal life going. So maybe you're doing something totally different and it's more of the norm. That's fine as well. I want you to get your data bank in order. That is the number one thing, you guys. That is your book of business. That is your pennies. That's your piggy bank, and you need to be sure that you're handling it correctly. There's too much money there, so you've got this time. So get it together. You have time. If you have teenagers at home, they can do some data entry, and it's good for them to be busy, right? So show them where you want these people. If you don't, if you're like many agents, it's okay to be honest with yourself. And because I hear this all the time, I stink at that. I never really did it right. I don't even have all my people together. That's okay. You guys know you can go in your MLS system. You can put in your own realtor code and go back years and see everything that you sold, list side and buyer side. You have the time now. Do that. Then you can either teach your board children, or you can go into public records and make sure that those people still live in, well, if it was a seller, where do they live? Get all of that. You can go back through your emails and see if you have any additional information just by searching their name. You can connect with them on social media, and you can start really having a really good data bank of all of your people, right? So let's just get it done once and for all. For those of you that already have it, what are you doing with it? What's your plan of action over the next few months? You know how I feel about keeping up with past people. They deserve, if you had the honor of working with them to buy or sell a house, then they deserve the honor of keeping you as their trusted advisor for the rest of their life, right? Nobody knows better what they did last time and when the proper time is maybe for them to maximize the value of that property, use their equity to go into another house. Can you have those conversations? It would go along the lines of, you know, hey, Sally, this is Janice Petteway with Exit. I'm just checking in on you. I decided, since we're all a little isolated now, that the best use of time is just to check on all the people I care about and that I have done business with, and make sure that you guys are okay. Let them answer. And then you would just say, that's awesome, because I have this time. I've been really working on data and getting a really good in-depth look at where all of my owners are. And I noticed, I ran yours. Have you got a couple minutes for me to share what I discovered? They're probably going to say yes, because everybody's home, right? And then you would just say, I discovered that I believe you, well, first of all, you made such a great decision. You've been in that house for 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever it is, and it looks like your appreciation is at X percentage. Unless you have refied or pulled out your equity, you're in a really good place. But I know that these houses, they're getting to be, you know, 15 years old, 20, whatever the truth is. And I wanted to talk to you about making sure that we communicate before you put any big improvements in the house, because I think it's probably maxed out its value for the area, for the square feet, for the whatever the truth is, for the next 5 or 8 years would be my guess. So it might not be wise to put $50,000 or $75,000 in new kitchens and bathrooms. If that was the truth for those people, that's the kind of conversation you would have. I promise you, if you do that to every past person, and you learn to do that for the rest of your career, and you always tell them not to do a big improvement without speaking with you, so that you can be sure that they are not over improving for that neighborhood, you will create transactions. It may not be today, but this is what will start happening. People will call you a month later and say, you know what, after I talked to you, I realized just how much I hate my kitchen and bathrooms, and I know we're going to do it in the next year or so. And if that's not the right financial move for us, we really need to consider selling and buying something different that's already got that. And then, because you would have told them, right now with the interest rate the way it is, you could potentially move up X amount of $1,000 from this house and get the things that you may want to improve already done with more square footage or a bigger lot, whatever the truth is, right? You know your area. I can't tell you, you have to do the data search. You have to know, right? So you're going to have those conversations with your past clients. You're going to make sure that you've got their up-to-date information, and you're going to start a system. So your data bank is really important right now. You're not going to get that perfect today, but you're going to start today. I want you to be financially successful in this, and to do things you must do. And this is a big one. You have to get to the point where that is perfect. Gosh, this time goes by so fast. So that's a big task, and get in touch with all of your people. So I want you to call all that have not bought, and I want you to dig for the word, and I want, because I would bet couldn't buy because they didn't. Can they now with the interesting? I really believe that will adjust past Fed that zero. Hopefully, you guys. But it is. Let me ask you a question. If you guys media something along that say, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing," with a picture of a house. 60 days ago, the principal and interest payment on this house would be approximately X. Today, it would be Y. You're going to always say approximately. You guys are not mortgage. You're going to make sure you get all of the proper office, but hundreds of dollars, is that going to stimulate maybe to read? Of course it is. Your people that you know are financially secure right now. Are you reaching out to them and talking to them about the potential of them buying either their first or their next property? Is that you? Think about it. I don't stocks. It's at the maximum. Somebody else is buying. I homes when they're at the, and everybody else buying, unless it's the one personally to live in and want. It is the people that are like are spend money self doing it. So are with you something that's a good buy investment wise for someone's portfolio? Why aren't you posting that? Why aren't you sending it out to your people? Now, we all know there's rules about posting and advertising somebody else's listing, so don't do that without their permission. But there's other things you can do. I mean, it could be something like, a big, bold something that you post that says, it says, deal of a lifetime, or whatever the heck you can come up with that is going to tell people to pay attention. And then you're going to go into saying, I haven't seen a 4-bedroom in this school district um, with this kind of value in at least 2 years. If you're looking to increase your portfolio, please reach out today. Would also make a great first time purchase. And can you even go a step further and do those things, spending a little bit of money on Facebook ads? Can you do that? Yes, you can. And if you don't know how to do that, you can go into the Resource Center, and you can go into training and webinars and just type in Facebook ads, and something will come up, and listen to it. So real quickly, a summary of your day. You're going to work, you're going to get these tasks started today, and you're going to keep going until you get them, all of the stuff we're going to be talking about, done, so that you can build a really, really strong, successful future. You're going to spend time on pods and reading. You're going to be a good example to your family by doing this. If you live alone, you're going to be a good example to others around you, because you're going to share some of what you're going to do. You are going to refrain from being obsessed with the news. You are going to refrain from posting negative things on social media. You are gonna, one of the things I didn't say yet, but this is so important, guys. It is okay to be casual at home, but it's not okay to not get up and get yourself together. There's something that changes with us when it's like our energy goes down. So what do you need to do every day that makes you feel like you're being productive. For me, I get up, I do take a shower, I do my hair, I put my makeup, I do all of that because it makes me feel a certain way, and off I go. And I think that's probably true for most of us. So you want to be sure that you're spiraling up and not down through this. And there's so many things you can do. Podcasts for enlightenment and good energy, and there's a million of them, guys. All you have to do is do some research on it. So look at that. Okay, so every day you're going to be getting something from me. So stay plugged in, tuned in. There's no excuses not to be on every single thing that we gift you with monthly right now, and to really have a pad and paper in front of you and take notes. Let my biggest, I want to be your catalyst. I don't want to always be just saying and telling you to do. I want to enlighten your imagination. I want to ignite your imagination so that you can do your own thing and have fun with it as well. So I will see you virtually tomorrow, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you.